Hello again, everyone. So, it's about that time of year where I decide, let's have a look back. Let's see what progress has been made on my accounts. So, if you're interested, come and join us. Okay, so got both accounts here. Now, we'll start with Crimson, I think. Now, Crimson, it doesn't look like a lot, but the big one of late has been Admiral Radis. So if we just go here and just show you our ships, we have actually got Scythe waiting to unlock. We haven't got GI yet, but we have got Profundity. We've got a 7-star Profundity at that. So that has been a bit of a headache of late because we had to save around 26 to 27,000 crystals to get to 7-star on day of unlock. So I will advise that as a headache for anyone trying to do it. It took me about 3 hours to do, maybe 4. So if you go and do it yourself, book a bit of time to do it. But yeah, if we're looking at the actual characters and what we've been working on that time, I wouldn't actually say there's a noticeable farm. So we did get Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker. I can't remember if we actually got that last time. I'll have to have a look in the previous video. But yeah, I feel like one of the stories of the account of late has been, we have obviously been going for Profundity, but we've been trying to get other projects prepared. So for instance, what I would say is this is actually the last day or so, we've got Treya unlocked. Sorry, Treya unlocked? Man, I'm going back in time there. We've got Treya to Rallic 7. So she's got her Omicron as well. And if I just go off this power sort for a minute, I've got Scion and I've got Nihilus as my current projects. Now, I got a little spoiler there for my other projects on the go. But that is the main thing I've been trying to do, just get these little projects working whilst I've also been working on this main project of Profundity. Another one that you can see here is Beskar Mandalorian. We've got him at Rallic 7 as well as Queel and IG-11. So I wanted a nice BAM team, and I feel like we've been getting some good results from it in GAC. So we've got those 3 at Rallic 7. We've also got Dash Rendar, and we've got Nest at Rallic 7. Where's Nest? There she is. So we've got some good results in that regard. And I may not have had it at Rallic 7 at the time, but we've got Savage there as well. So it's all about giving ourselves options for GAC. And for the most part, I feel like it's been playing well. Now, Dash is Omicron. I can understand if people look at it and go, really? If you're using BAM lead, why Dash? 3v3. Simple as, it gives me an option in 3v3. It also means if I do Dash on Chewie, those 2 game prepared and the buffs from Dash lead benefit them. So it's a very niche Omicron in the sense maybe I could have done without it. But I do have quite a lot of Omicrons on this account. I mean, just click on Cassian temporarily. I've got 2 spare. I'm close to a 3rd. I'm not in a mad rush to do anything, so I'm not actually too concerned. Now, as far as moving forward, you might have got a little glimpse of it. We're working on Starkiller, so we've got Mara Jade, Talon, and Calcaton on the favourites. Mara's the closest to Rallic. We'll probably be working on her very soon. I'm actually tantalisingly close to doing a Rallic upgrade. I mean, can I actually do it here while we're recording? That would be very nice. Let's just see, 6 and 6. Oh, okay. Yep, so she can go to Gear 13 just while we're recording, so that's pretty nice. And I don't know anyone else, if you're like me, I always like to take them to Rallic 1 just for the fact that then they're getting all these current mastery buffs and whatnot. So yeah, she's at Rallic 1. Now, it is a bit awkward because I would like to work on her right now, but I am going to make sure I finish Scion and Nihilus first. But it does mean that she'll be next in the queue after Talon and Kyle are also at Rallic. So they're going to be worked on. Now, you can see here we've got 2nd, 7th, 9th, 8th, brother, sister, whatever, Inquisitor shards farmed. We've got 2nd at Gear 12. That was mainly for the ship. I'm not sure exactly if I'm going to farm the Inquisitor soon as far as the gear. 5th brother here, we've got a 4-star. Because I've been doing a lot of Rallic signal data farming, I haven't been able to dedicate time to farm 5th brother's shards, but I know it's a pretty easy farm, so I'm not too worried about it. But I know that I would have to take time out from Rallic farming to do it, so it's why I've been holding back. I might do it, I don't know. The thing is, my guild isn't in desperate need of a Inquisitors for Raver. Just for the simple fact that we don't do the Raver mission. It's not a great thing to brag about, I know, but I look and I think, just for the fact that immediately I don't need it, it's making me think I don't need to push for it. But it is there on my radar. I'm like, I know it's important. I know if I've got the time and the resources, I should go for it. But the reason why I'm sort of not tantalizing, I'm debating about whether to do it now or later. I have farmed all the shards for the resistance tunes. Well, in fact, the only thing I haven't got that's farmed up is Zori, and she isn't a requirement, she's just good. So my thoughts are I'm probably going to do the resistance next. So you can see here I've got R2 sort of begging for this piece of gear that he's been asking for about 3 or 4 years. And I'm tempted to do this first. I mean, we've got a couple already at or close to requirements. I mean, I say that. Well, I wish we had. Ray and BB, they need gear for go to 13, but I'm going to say they're kind of, you know what I mean? They're not like level 1, you know, they've got something. I've got a functioning team, even if it's not a great team. So I keep looking and I think, all right, that's probably what this next project's going to be, get Ray. It feels a bit awkward because I haven't got Ben solo. I mean, if we go to unaligned, Ben is currently down here at 180 out of 330. That's kind of a consequence of me taking a month off last year during his conquest cycle. So we'll probably work on just a vanilla Ray team, and then maybe I can get Ben via conquest at Proving Grounds at some point. But yeah, we've got a few issues like that. Now, in case anyone's wondering about Hook Cartel, that's not an immediate priority for me. I know it should be the best team in the game for all, in the purpose of they've got so many roles in so many different game modes. But right now, I just don't particularly want to go for them here. It's not to say I won't. In fact, I probably will try and slot them into my farming plan for the next 12 months. But I want a more immediate impact. And I think that's why Resistance are kind of screaming out at me, because we can see that Zori's got a great Omicron. That's one thing that's at the back of my mind. But besides that, having 4 GLs would be a big thing. We'd have Starkiller as well, so that'd be like a 5th GL. And yeah, we can work with that. So yeah, what's kind of getting me here as well is the fact that most of these characters don't require counter attack. I mean, the ones that do, we've got the brothers down here, they'll require some counter attack. They've all got counter attack in the finishes, but that's about it. So I look and I think, I don't mind that. That's actually an acceptable trade-off in my eyes. So it would allow me some time to sort of passively hoard some counter attack potentially. It's a hope anyway, because then I can work on the Inquisitorius afterwards. Again, this is all a little bit of theory work in my head, but I don't know if it'll pan out the same. Because if I can just be buying gear from the guild store, you know, just gearing up my characters that way, but farming counter attack, then it means that I'm obviously doing the counter attack for these characters for the finishers, but I might have overload. I might have spare counter attack that I can then apply to the Inquisitors. It's a theory. I'm not saying it's a great theory, but it is something that I'm hoping might pan out. And just one last thing for those of you who are wondering, I am not thinking about Leviathan here. If I just go to my Sith very quickly, I'm 175 out of 330 for Malgus. I just don't see it as a viable farm for me in the immediate future, so I'm not really thinking about it. Maybe down the line it'll come to my head. But yeah, it's all about when I get Proving Grounds done with Malgus. So if we get close with that, I might start veering towards it depending the requirements we're going to be getting. So that was Crimson. Let's show you Temmin. Now, Temmin's big highlight, we got Jabba the Hutt. That was a big plus of late. The ultimate took us a bit of time to get, but doesn't it always? So I'm not complaining. I enjoyed the farm. I think a lot of the characters I got out of it were worthwhile. I said it with Crimson, Jabba's probably the most important character in the game right now. So I'm actually grateful I've got him. Now, as far as moving forward, I've got a couple of different projects in mind. So the main one that I'm actually thinking about right now is Dr. Aphra. It feels a bit odd because Aphra's main purpose in the game is territory battles, or at least the main purpose wide farmer. But I feel like Aphra's got a lot of secondary I wouldn't say secondary requirements, but she's very good at off-meta counters for Galactic Legends. So I'm keeping that in mind as far as it's a good reason to farm her. Even before I realised how good Aphra was, I wanted to get Sana Staros built up, because I've got a few decent rebels, so I figure she might make a good second rebel team for GA. That's why Stormtrooper Holland's had a big promotion from Gear 8 or 9 to Gear 12. We've got Ondo just waiting to get to 7 stars so he can go to Gear 12. And then we've got the droids here who will get some gear soon enough, but like Hondo, they're waiting on stars. So it's a project I wish could accelerate a bit faster, but right now we're okay with it. Now, you might be looking at some of the rest of this and going, what's going on? I've been talking about this on the stream I've been doing today, oddly enough, that when I'm doing my farming, I do try to have Relic projects, Gear 12 projects, and then Shard projects. So the top line is my Relic projects right now. Each one of these are going to Relic 7 for now. So we want a Relic 7 Boosh, Chrysanthemum, Embo, Skiffguard. Simply put, it'll mean that I can use them in TB, and I'll be able to do the Relic 7 tier of the Crate Dragon raid. Now, will I stop there? For now, yes. Maybe down the line I'll take them to R8, but for now R7 will service me fine. But what about the rest? We've got some interesting farms, shall we call them. So, we've got Sortie. Sortie for me is the odd one out amongst all of this, because I don't need to farm Sortie from what we can see. But I've got a suspicion she'll be a requirement for Leviathan. I'm not sure about it. There's no way of knowing for sure until the requirements are announced, but it would not surprise me if an old Republic character that is only been released in the last year is a requirement for a Sith Empire ship. There's something about it that seems symmetrical, so I just would not rule it out. If it turns out that it's not a requirement for Leviathan, then it's a case of, oh well, I've got Sortie built up a little bit. So I don't mind actually investing time into a Shards. Now, we've got a few other ones here that are a little bit interesting. If we go down, we've got Merrin, I'm actually surprised how high Merrin is by comparison actually. We've got Merrin, we've got Cal, we've got Seer, we've got Tarful, we've got Saw. The fact that I'm doing Dr. Aphra now hopefully indicates I do like my legendary events. Depending on when the shards drop and where they drop, I will probably try and do Jedi Knight Cal Kestis at some point in the near future. But if we're talking about farming priorities, my main priority is going to be getting Dr. Aphra. Like I say, that is the main priority. We've got the characters on at the top of the shortlist and they're getting the gear. After that, we're going to be working on Leviathan. Now, again, I haven't actually shown off what they're like, but my Sith do need work, so I don't mind doing this. We've got Sith Trooper who's going to be a requirement and is in desperate need of stars and gear. So that'll be a project in the near future. Malgus is Relic 7. If it becomes a Relic 9 requirement, it's 2 Relic jumps. Even though I don't like that, I don't like Relic 8 or 9, I look and I think, okay, it's not that far off, it's not the biggest of jumps. Malak equally, I think, okay, if he's got to go to 7, 8 or 9, I don't mind it. Malak's a good character, so I have no qualms about doing that upgrade. We know pretty much with certainty that Darth Revan will be a Relic 9 requirement, so my hope is that if they're going to give us Relic requirements, it's Revan and Malgus, for the simple fact that they are two that I can understand and I don't mind taking to Relic 9. I mean, Revan's overkill at 9, but I can accept it. Malak would be a bit... I mean, even though he's a tank and I would love to take him to Relic 9 for that purpose, it's like, that would be expensive if it was 3 R9s. So I'm crossing my fingers that it's just Revan and maybe Malgus at 9. 2 I can take. It'd take me a bit of time, but I could take them. But then it's the other requirements. And I'll be honest, I haven't got a guess what they're going to be right now, because we're recording this before they are announced. Maybe I should have held back a week or so, but I want to get this video out. Bastila, she really needs to get to Relic 5. She's been waiting there very patiently like Revan for a Relic upgrade, and I think when I do Revan, I'll just try and wrap up Bastila at the same time, just so that we've then got a TB team. So yeah, it's got to be the time of the Sith at this point. We've got Sith Empire Trooper as well, who I don't think is going to get a ship at this point. It looks like HK-47, based on the login rewards, could be the other marquee ship that will come in the Galactic Chase. So as much as I would love to give Sith Empire Trooper a bit of love, I don't think he's going to be getting it. Sith Assassin is 7-star, but we'll need gear, and Sith Marauder is only 5-star, so we'll need stars and gear. So there's a lot of work to be done here. But I don't mind, because honestly, this faction just needs a bit of attention. So once Dr. Aphra is done, I can just take a bit of time and round off a few of these toons that have really been neglected for a while. But, and it's a big, big but, we've got Aphra. We've got Leviathan. What is next? So ideally, if there isn't some big massive distraction that takes me away from it, the next farm is going to be Lord Vader. And you might look at my favourites here and go, there's not a lot here that's Lord Vader flavoured. I agree, there isn't. I'm trying not to look that far ahead, but Tusken Raider is a requirement for Lord Vader. So I've got him down on my favourites. I've got the Tuskens down just so I can potentially work on them for the raid. And then hopefully that means I've also got a raid team built up if I do that. So we've already got Aurora at Relic 4, I believe. So I was talking about this today, that the Tuskens really only benefit from the raid if they're at Relic 7. So it's a high investment, but I look and I think I might just do that. I might take them to Relic 7 so that we've got another high punching raid team. And from there, I can then start Lord Vader. There's a lot of ifs, buts and maybes here, I know. But if I were to do that, then that would give me time as well to finish off Chieftain, who's currently 5 stars. And again, I've been struggling with the Cantina farms as going from one toon to another. So it will give me time to work on Tusken Warrior. Adding the fact that Cal Kestis is also a Cantina farm, I am going to be farming Cantina farms for some time at this rate. But if it means these characters get done, I don't mind. So what does this all mean? It means by the time I do another video, which probably will be around Christmas time at this rate, I would hope that I've got my 4 Relic characters here at Relic 7. If they're not there, I'm going to be very disappointed. I would hope by Christmas I've got Dr. Aphra. Again, I'll be very disappointed if I haven't done that. Equally, I would like the droids to be Relic 7 so they can work in Aphra's team in TB. And at that point, I would hope that at the very least I'm working on Leviathan. My gut says that I'll be able to work on it, but I know it won't get at release. I just know I won't. TIE Dagger, I got 56 out of 100, so it's not that far off to finish the ship when it's farmable. And we don't know what the next ship is currently, but again, I will do the Galactic Chase. I will try and get as many shards as I can, but I'm not worrying about it because I'm still a bit way off. But yeah, that is the main process. We've got 3 farms. And we've got thoughts for a 4th in the future. If I can do it is another question. I mean, if I just show you one of my factions that I do need to work on, I mentioned it in a thumbnail recently. I want to work on the Bad Batch. They are a fun faction. I built them up on my baby account before it went into exile. And yeah, I would like to get these built up. But unfortunately, they're very Karatech heavy. And yeah, I just need to finish their shards as much as anything. I mean, granted, Omega doesn't need to be done, but I would like to get it done. So, yeah, it's all about getting some projects finished at that point, I assume. So Bad Batch would probably be the tail end of any potential Lord Vader farm, but sadly, that could end up being post-December at this point. So we're talking about this time next year, this would be done. So we're looking very far into the future at this point, and by that point there'll be 2, 3, 4 big characters out, I imagine. So at that point I might have pivoted, I might have gone away from Lord Vader, but I hope I don't, just for the fact that Lord Vader is a TB requirement and important just generally in the game. So we'll see. It all depends what the next GL is. If it's GL Leia, I've got some good rebels on this account, or at least I've always been proud of my rebels on this account. You know, they've been one of my highlights. So if GL Leia does come into the game, then I might pivot. I might think, you know what? Sod Lord Vader, I'll go for this new GL. But who knows? Who knows? So I know this is maybe a bit scatterdash, maybe a bit rushed. I do apologise if it came across that way, but I want to get this video out. It's an important part of my channel. And I haven't actually uploaded anything original in quite some time. Anything that wasn't live stream highlights. So I hope that you've enjoyed this video. If you haven't already, check out my Let's Play channel. It went live about a month ago now, and I've been releasing episodes of Jedi Survivor, and I've been re-releasing my Death Stranding content from this channel, just basically to fill in some gaps when I haven't had days to upload new content. So if you enjoy Jedi Survivor, go check that out. Alright folks, thank you for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now, everyone.